All around our amazing planet, in the deepest oceans, the hottest deserts and the coldest lands, a grand drama unfolds every single day. This is the drama of wildlife, where animals live out their lives in a constant dance of survival. For them, each sunrise brings a new set of challenges and opportunities. They must find food to eat, water to drink, and a safe place to rest. They must also be clever and strong to avoid becoming a meal for another creature. It is a world filled with breathtaking moments of courage, incredible feats of strength, and astonishing displays of intelligence. This is nature's great theatre, and its actors are the millions of species we share this earth with. Think of it as a collection of incredible stories, each one more exciting than the last. In one corner of the world, a tiny hatchling might be taking its first dangerous steps into a world full of predators. In another, a parent might be traveling immense distances just to bring a single meal back to its hungry young. These are not just random events. They are the very essence of life itself. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, plays a vital part in this intricate web of existence. Their struggles and triumphs are the threads that weave the rich and beautiful tapestry of the natural world, a world full of wonder and surprise at every turn. Understanding these stories helps us see the world from a different perspective. We begin to appreciate the incredible resilience of life and the amazing adaptations that allow animals to thrive in their environments. A leopard's spots are not just a beautiful pattern. They are a masterpiece of camouflage that allows it to hunt unseen. A bird's song is not just a pretty melody. It is a complex language used to defend territory and attract a mate. Every single detail has a purpose, a reason for being, honed over millions of years of evolution. The more we learn about these animals, the more we realize how connected we all are in this grand, unfolding story of life on Earth. So, let us journey together to some of the wildest places on our planet. We will witness moments of high-stakes drama where the line between life and death is razor-thin. We will see clever hunters and even cleverer escape artists. We will learn about dedicated parents who will do anything to protect their young, and about rivals who clash in epic battles for resources. Prepare to be amazed by the real-life adventures that happen every minute of every day in the animal kingdom. These are the epic moments that remind us just how spectacular and precious our planet's wildlife truly is, and why it is so important to listen to their stories. In the warm waters of the Indian Ocean, there is a remote island that becomes a bustling city for birds every year. Hundreds of thousands of sooty terns gather here to build their nests and raise their chicks. For the young birds, the world is a new and exciting place, but it is also filled with danger. Their biggest test comes when they must learn to fly. As the fledglings flutter unsteadily from their nests, they must practice their skills over a calm lagoon in the center of the island. But they are not alone. Lurking just below the surface of the water, a formidable hunter watches and waits for the perfect moment to strike. This hunter is the giant trevally, a powerful fish known for its incredible strength and speed. Usually, these fish hunt alone, but here they have learned to work together. A group of about 50 giant trevally gathers in the lagoon, their eyes fixed on the sky above. They have developed a truly remarkable skill. They can leap out of the water and catch a bird in mid-air. To do this, the fish must calculate the bird's speed, its height, and the path it is flying on. It is an amazing feat of brain power and athletic ability, turning the fish into a winged predator's worst nightmare. The young terns are completely unaware of the danger that waits just inches below them. The tension builds with each passing moment. A young tern, eager to strengthen its wings, swoops low over the water, perhaps trying to take a quick drink. In a flash of silver and spray, a giant trevally explodes from the lagoon. Its powerful body launches into the air, its mouth wide open. The chase is on, a dramatic battle between the sea and the sky. The fledgling tern flaps its wings frantically, trying to gain altitude and escape the predator's reach. Sometimes the bird is quick enough and manages to pull away just in time, its heart pounding with the thrill of its narrow escape. For a moment it is safe again in the wide-open sky, but for other young terns the story has a different ending. The fish's calculations are perfect, and its jaws snap shut on the unsuspecting bird. The hunt is over in a matter of seconds. This incredible drama repeats itself day after day, as the young terns prepare for their first long journey over the open ocean. It is a tough lesson in survival, showing how predators can adapt in extraordinary ways to find food. This airborne hunt is one of nature's most spectacular displays, a powerful reminder that in the wild, challenges can come from the most unexpected places, even from the water below. Imagine an island where the ground itself seems to be alive. On a remote island in the Galapagos, this is the reality for newly hatched marine iguanas. As soon as they break free from their sandy nests, their very first challenge is a desperate race for survival. The island is home to a huge number of racer snakes, and for them the iguana hatching season is the biggest feast of the year. The snakes have poor eyesight and can't see the hatchlings very well if they stay still, but they are experts at detecting movement. They lie in wait among the rocks, creating a terrifying landscape of hidden predators. For a tiny iguana hatchling, the world is a scary maze of rocks and sand, and the goal is to reach the safety of the higher cliffs where the adult iguanas live. One brave little hatchling emerges from its nest and takes a moment to look around. Suddenly it freezes. A snake is slithering just a few feet away. The baby iguana stays perfectly still, hoping its camouflage will keep it hidden. For a tense moment, the strategy works. The snake, unable to see the motionless creature, continues on its way. The hatchling has survived its first close call, but the danger is far from over. Its cover is blown when another snake spots it. The chase begins. The little iguana, no bigger than a human hand, pumps its tiny legs as fast as it can. On flat ground, it might just be able to outrun a single snake, but this is not flat ground. As it scrambles over the rocky terrain, more and more snakes pour out from the cracks and crevices. It is a heart-stopping scene as a whole group of snakes joins the pursuit, their sleek bodies flowing over the rocks like a living river of danger. The hatchling is surrounded, and it seems like there is no possible way for it to escape. But this little iguana is a true survivor. With an incredible burst of energy, it dodges and weaves through the tangled mass of snakes. One snake lunges and misses. Another tries to coil around it, but fails. The hatchling makes a final, desperate leap, launching itself through the air and landing on a rock wall. It scrambles up the cliff face with astonishing speed, leaving the frustrated snakes behind on the ground below. It has made it. Against all odds, the tiny reptile has survived one of the most terrifying trials in the natural world. This miraculous escape is a powerful story of instinct and the will to live. On the vast plains of Africa, the balance of power can shift in an instant. For a young male lion named Red, a moment of wandering too far from his pride nearly became his last. He found himself alone, deep inside the territory of a rival clan. A pack of over 20 spotted hyenas. Hyenas are intelligent and powerful predators, and when they work together as a team, they can be a formidable force, even for a lion. Seeing the lone lion as an easy target, the entire clan began to circle him, their eerie calls filling the air. Red was trapped and heavily outnumbered. The hyenas launched their attack. They nipped at his legs and his tail, trying to wear him down. Red was strong, and he fought back with furious snarls and powerful swipes of his paws. He was a magnificent young lion, full of strength and courage, but the relentless assault from so many enemies began to take its toll. For every hyena he managed to push back, 2 more would rush in to take its place. He was growing tired and his movements became slower. The hyena pack sensed his weakening state and pressed their advantage, moving in closer for the final attack. Red's situation looked hopeless, but miles away, another lion heard the commotion. It was Tatu, Red's cousin. Lions have an incredible bond with their pride members, and Tatu recognized the sounds of a lion in distress. Without a moment's hesitation, he raced towards the sounds of the fight. When he arrived, he saw his cousin surrounded and on the verge of collapse. Tatu didn't just stand by. He charged straight into the heart of the hyena pack, roaring with all his might. The hyenas were completely surprised by the sudden arrival of another large, powerful male lion. The tables had suddenly turned. Now, instead of one tired lion against 20 hyenas, it was 2 strong male lions fighting side by side. Together, Red and Tatu were an unstoppable force. They stood back to back, a united front of muscle and fury. The hyenas, who had been so confident just moments before, realized that the fight was no longer in their favor. Facing 2 angry lions was a risk they were not willing to take. One by one, they began to retreat, melting back into the shadows of the savannah. Tatu had saved Red's life. This dramatic rescue shows the deep importance of family and teamwork, even for the kings of the African plains. In the lush rainforests of Central and South America lives a tiny amphibian with a very big responsibility. The poison dart frog is no bigger than a human thumbnail, but it is one of the most dedicated fathers in the animal kingdom. After the mother frog lays her eggs, the male's work truly begins. Once the eggs hatch into tadpoles, he must transport each one to its own private nursery. He carefully allows a single tadpole to wriggle onto his back and then begins a difficult journey, climbing high into the trees to find a special kind of plant called a bromeliad, which holds a tiny pool of water in its leaves. This is a dangerous and tiring task. The father frog must carry each of his tadpoles one by one to separate pools. Finding a safe nursery is only half the battle. Sometimes the tiny pool of water can dry up, putting the tadpole in grave danger. If this happens, the father frog knows just what to do. He returns to the bromeliad, allows the stranded tadpole to climb back onto his back, and gives it a piggyback ride to a new, safer home with more water. This incredible act of devotion shows just how far a parent will go to ensure the survival of its young. However, there is another problem. These new, tiny pools of water do not have any food in them. A growing tadpole needs to eat, so the father frog must come up with another clever solution. He goes in search of the mother frog, and through a series of calls and nudges, leads her back to the exact location of the hungry tadpole. This requires an amazing memory, as he might have placed up to 5 different tadpoles in 5 different plants scattered throughout the dense rainforest. He must remember where each and every one of his children is hidden. Once the mother arrives at the correct plant, she does something extraordinary. She lays a single unfertilized egg into the water. This egg is not for creating another tadpole. It is a perfect, nutritious meal for her hungry baby. This amazing teamwork between the mother and father continues for the next 6 weeks, until the tadpoles are old enough to look after themselves. The father frog finds the mother and brings her to each tadpole in turn, ensuring they are all fed. This incredible story of parenting shows the complex and caring behaviors that can be found even in the smallest of creatures. In the bustling world of a macaque-monkey troop, social status is everything. High-ranking monkeys get the best food and the safest resting spots, while low-ranking ones often have to struggle. This social order can lead to some dramatic moments, especially when it comes to family. One day, a low-ranking mother was horrified to see her precious baby being snatched away by a higher-ranking female who did not have a baby of her own. The kidnapper, perhaps driven by a strong motherly instinct, scrambled away with the tiny infant, refusing to give it back to its rightful parent. The situation quickly became very dangerous. To get away from the frantic mother, the kidnapper climbed to the top of a 30-meter-high cable car tower. The poor baby, dangling precariously from such a great height, was in terrible peril. The mother was desperate, but she knew she could not fight the stronger, higher-ranking female and win. A direct physical confrontation would likely fail and could even put her baby in more danger. She needed to use her brain, not her strength, to solve this terrifying problem. She watched from below, her mind racing to find a peaceful solution. And then she came up with a brilliant and clever plan. She knew that for monkeys, social grooming is an incredibly important activity. It builds friendships, strengthens bonds, and is a very pleasurable experience. The mother macaque approached another member of the troop and began to groom it, right in full view of the kidnapper at the top of the tower. She acted as if nothing was wrong, calmly and carefully picking through the other monkey's fur. It was a risky strategy, but she was counting on the kidnapper's deep-seated social instincts to take over. The kidnapper watched the grooming session from her high perch. The urge to be part of the social group, to be groomed and feel connected, was too strong for her to resist. She could not bear to be left out. Slowly and carefully, she made her way down from the dangerous tower, still clutching the baby. She approached the mother and the other monkey, wanting to join in. As soon as she was close enough, the mother calmly reached out and gently took her baby back. The clever plan had worked perfectly. The mother had used her understanding of social behavior to rescue her child without any violence. The open ocean is a vast blue desert where finding food and avoiding predators is a constant challenge. For the remarkable flying fish, life is a high-speed chase with danger coming from two directions at once. Below the surface, swift and powerful predators like the dorado are always on the hunt. These large, fast-swimming fish are experts at chasing down smaller prey. When a school of flying fish is targeted by a dorado, they have an amazing trick up their sleeves, or rather, their fins. They race towards the surface and launch themselves out of the water. Once in the air, they spread their specially adapted wing-like pectoral fins and glide. They can soar for hundreds of meters, gliding just above the waves at incredible speeds. It is a fantastic escape plan that often leaves the hungry dorado behind in the water. For a few brief moments, the flying fish is no longer a creature of the sea, but a creature of the air. It is a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight to see them shimmering in the sunlight as they glide gracefully over the ocean's surface. This unique ability gives them a fighting chance against the predators that hunt them from below. However, escaping the sea only brings them into a new danger zone. High above, another predator is watching and waiting. The frigate bird, a master of the ocean skies, has learned to take advantage of the flying fish's escape tactic. These birds have long wings and are incredibly skilled flyers, able to pluck prey from the air with pinpoint accuracy. As the flying fish soars above the waves, thinking it has escaped the dorado, it becomes a perfect target for the frigate birds circling overhead. The fish has jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire. The flying fish is caught in an impossible situation. If it stays in the water, it risks being eaten by the dorado. If it takes to the air, it risks being snatched by a frigate bird. Life is a constant high-stakes gamble. Every leap from the water is a desperate roll of the dice. Will it be fast enough to evade the hunter below and lucky enough to avoid the hunter above? This dramatic struggle for survival, caught between the sea and the sky, is a perfect example of the complex food chains in the ocean and the incredible pressures that shape the lives of its inhabitants. In the vast, snowy landscapes of India, the life of a tiger cub is filled with both wonder and peril. For a young cub named Biba, curiosity led her to take a very big risk. She saw a huge adult male tiger nearby, and instead of hiding, she bravely walked right up to him. This is usually a very dangerous thing for a cub to do. Adult male tigers are not always friendly towards young ones, and they will sometimes kill cubs that are not their own. But this male tiger was different. He was Biba's father, and he would not harm his own daughter. He tolerated her presence with a gentle patience. While tiger fathers are rarely seen playing an active role in raising their offspring, their presence is incredibly important for the family's survival. The father's main job is to be the guardian of the territory. He patrols the boundaries of his large home range, leaving scent marks on trees and roaring to announce his presence. This serves as a powerful warning to any other male tigers that might be wandering into the area. By keeping rivals away, he creates a safe zone where his cubs can grow up without the threat of being attacked by other males. The mother tiger, Rajpera, is responsible for everything else. She is the one who hunts for food, teaches her cubs how to stalk prey, and protects them from the everyday dangers of the forest. It is a full-time job that requires immense skill and energy. Raising a litter of cubs is one of the most challenging tasks a tigress will ever face. She must provide enough food for their growing bodies while also teaching them the essential survival skills they will need when they are adults. Her dedication is absolute, but the father's silent protection makes her difficult job possible. This family dynamic shows a different side of these powerful predators. While the father may seem distant and uninvolved, his role as a protector is absolutely vital. His quiet strength and dominance over his territory create a shield around his vulnerable family. Biba's brave approach to her father and his calm acceptance of her is a touching moment that reveals the hidden bonds within a tiger family. It is a beautiful example of how different members of a family can work together, each playing a crucial but different role to ensure that the next generation has a chance to thrive in the wild. The incredible stories we have seen, from the leaping fish to the brave lion, are more than just exciting tales. They are a window into the complex and fragile beauty of our planet's wildlife. Each animal, with its unique skills and behaviors, is a masterpiece of evolution, perfectly adapted to its home. The clever frog, the daring iguana, and the loving tiger parent all have a special part to play in the grand story of nature. They are all connected in a delicate balance. When one part of this natural world is harmed, it affects everything else, creating ripples that can be felt across entire ecosystems. Sadly, many of these amazing animals are now facing new challenges that are far greater than any natural predator. Their homes are disappearing as forests are cut down and grasslands are turned into farms. The oceans are becoming polluted and the climate is changing, making it harder for them to find food and raise their young. The race of snakes and iguanas, the lions and hyenas, and the countless other creatures we have met are all threatened by these human-caused problems. Their epic struggle for survival has become even harder because of the changes we are making to the planet. But just as we are the cause of many of these problems, we can also be the solution. We have the power to make a positive difference. We can help by protecting the wild places that these animals call home. We can work to keep our oceans and rivers clean. We can learn more about the animals we share the planet with and teach others about why they are so important. Every small action, from recycling at home to supporting organizations that protect wildlife, adds up to make a big impact. We can become the guardians that these animals so desperately need. Let us be inspired by their resilience, their intelligence, and their will to live. Let us remember the story of Tatu, who raced to help his cousin in need. In the same way, we must rush to the aid of the natural world. Protecting wildlife is not just about saving animals, it is about saving ourselves. A healthy planet with thriving ecosystems is a healthy planet for everyone. Every creature has its place in nature's magnificent story, and it is our responsibility to ensure that this story can continue for all the generations to come, full of drama, wonder, and life. And